Hi guys, this is Ravensleep45 and welcome back to Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And before we start with our regular scheduled video for the Qitari Beast Tribe, I do want to mention two things. For starters, I had a hiccup on one of my recording. It's regarding the Beast Tribe prior to the recent one I upload, where it will explain the origins of the Namazu, where they got extinct for some apparent reason. I can't remember entirely what the scenario was, but that was that recording. But pertaining to that one, I was making space on my hard drive and might have accidentally deleted the file pertaining to that. I really need to come up with a alternative solution to guarantee that I won't accidentally delete it again. You know, put it on next time hard drive or something. But I digress. So that session was completely deleted because, well, I can't really do anything with just my commenting alone because I don't have any footage, so it's a little bit disappointing. As for the second one, for the new, or this recording, well, this current episode for the Qitari Beast Tribe, where I have the commentary, but there's no sound on the video, which is like, well, I have to add in my own sound effect, well, not a sound effect, like own BGM for the background, so it can't be completely without any sound. So I'm thinking of using a couple of soundtrack from previous games, or any game entitled kind of might fit in, or I could use the Shadowbringers soundtrack, which came out a long time ago, so I can use some of that pertaining to the Namazu, or maybe the Qitari Beast Tribe, that I can just loop it or something. But regardless, at least I somehow made it work, and hopefully it turned out for the best. And with that, I'm going to resume regular recording session, and this has been Ravensleep45. Take care, stay safe, and hopefully problems like this won't occur, but knowing me, something might just happen again. Hi guys, it's Ravensleep45 and welcome back to Fantasy XIV Endwalker with the Qitari Beast Tribe. Last time in the Qitari Beast Tribe, we ended their play in the fair city and bring peace to their tribe. Not to mention, we got the Stella all set and done. Not to mention, the great Sermon Raktiga stands tall on the pedestal above us all, serving to guide us from all turmoil for future years to come. Also say Mr. Quinfell and his diary of all things considered. Honestly, I do love the guy. I do love him, but there are times when there are times I wish you can just, keep quiet and all that fun stuff, but you gotta love the guy for his efforts and such. So now we are back here in the Greatwood, going to do the Reputation 8, or the final one for the Beast Tribe. And I'm not sure what we'll be getting as the final reward, because we already have the minion prior to that, so I'm not sure what else we could be receiving. Maybe we'll get another minion, or like armor set. I don't know what kind of armor set we'll gain from the Beast Tribe itself, since the only time I remember getting a armor set from Reputation was I can't remember the bug people from Ham's Ward. But I know you get one from doing the turtle people from Stormbloods and such, but I don't know about this Beast Tribe in particular, since they're not really battle oriented, so it has to be something involving scatterers in particular. So we'll see as we do this quest. So let's talk with good old Char over here and see what we can get for our data rewards. Glory be to the Scree! I have no idea why it's so deep there, but go with it. Oh, Atarius! On behalf of all the stewards, I thank you for your tireless efforts. We have your sincerest gratitude. Indeed, we the Qitari must bear the responsibility of having spread the pox to these parts of the forest. Finally, we have brought this painful chapter to our history to a close, and we could not have done so without your invaluable aid. At first, I feared we might damage our relations with the Knight's Bless and the Viis beyond repair. Instead, we managed to overcome the plague together. In doing so, the time-tested bond between our people are stronger than ever before. I traveled to Slurpot and Fanow all the time to share tidings from the forest with my newfound friends. Okay. And with the guidance of the Great Serpent, we reclaim a long-lost knowledge. Not just our own kind, but the Great Rokika itself. In studying the restored stela, I have found occasion to reflect on ruminate on the history of the Empire. It truly was a great civilization, controlling and exerting influence all over the ancient Novorant. It was a civilization of great enlightenment, welcoming millions of people and uniting them under a single banner to live in peace and prosperity. Humes and Viis, Qitari and Ronso, living side by side, working towards a common good. Artistic and academic accomplishments of the Empire were many, and yet this is its greatest strength, would also prove its downfall. Also my theory holds. As the Empire expanded and the years went on, once strong friendships and alliances began to turn sour. Small disagreements flared into all-out conflict, and Rokika, once akin to a mighty tree that seemed as it would stand forever, began to splinter from within. I imagine Rokika in his final years withering and dying. No doubt the Emperor sat on his throne, waiting in vain for the arrival of one who would restore his empire to its former glory. Waiting for an ally of Ronka. Compared to the long and storied history of Ronka, my own 3 years seems to be insignificant as the drop of water in the great and gushing river. I understand the son, my boy, but it is not so. While the lifespan of one Qitari may be short, we must never underestimate the value of a shared knowledge and wisdom accumulated through many experiences and recorded for the sake of prosperity. Just as our forebears did their part in shape the course of Ronka history, so too with the discoveries you have may serve to forge the future of our people and the greater wood itself. Few words were never spoken. But we must not forget our friends and allies. Without those aid, we would not have survived to see this day. Might I trust you to convey our gratitude to them on my behalf, Char? But of course, father, consider our gratitude conveyed. Ho ho, every learning. I see Ataris might have trusted you to escort my son to Fanow. I would not be able to forgive myself if anything unfortunate happened to him to this day of triumph. Come, Atarius, Master Lanille would be overjoyed to see us, I am sure! Okay, time to go to Fanow. Okay, let's go to Fanow. Teleportante Vista Grande. Although I can just fly there, but I'm a little bit lazy today. Alright, here we are. Hello, good madam. It pleases me to hear that all is well in the Stopple. We are honored to have done our small part to be in service of our Qitari friends. Never did I think we would live to see this age-old alliance of Ronka rekindled. For us as well, Master Lanille, from ancient rituals to remedies that ease our pain in trying times, there is so much wisdom that we learn from you. I am certain this is only the start of a long and fruitful friendship. You are wise beyond your years, my young friend. There is much that and your people have already taught us. Promise that you will continue to share with us your gleaning from history, that we might put them to use ourselves in protecting and preserving our forest home. It will be our honor! All's well that ends well, yes? And now, I do believe time has finally come that I stop daring and take to the road. Are you going somewhere, my good Madame Peña? I will depart on a journey that will be far too long in the making. I intend to travel beyond the Greatwood, reaches into the search for Viis who live scattered across the land, that they may join us here in Vertica, together preserve and pass down the wisdom of Ronka. Fanow has always been my home, and it would be not easy for me to leave it behind. And yet, I will leave with the knowledge that the forest is in good hands. Promise me that we will not let Junia get into much trouble, yes? I dare say you're the one who needs looking after, sister. Perhaps I should accompany you. Rest assured, I am more than capable of taking care of myself, thank you very much. Sisterly love. Forgive me if I ever refrain from stepping into the midst of this sibling squabble. Go in safety, Peña, and know that the azure bloom will always guide you home. Thank you, Master Lanille. I will return. And with that, I rest me off before I find another reason to delay my journey any longer. Young Chaqurl, Artorias, promise me that you will be well. Well, don't need to worry about that department. I'll be well and fine. Though I can't say for young Char here. Well, hopefully he will be. Kinda probably can check on him once in a while to see how he's doing. Peña. And you as well, Junia. No matter how far the journey may carry me, know that part of me is always here with you. And, you know, I have this sixth sense of twin senses that will tell me if you're in danger or not. But I don't know if that's actually true or anything. But then again, there are certain instances in life where when you have a twin, they can kind of sense if you're in danger, but I don't know if that's actually accurate or not. And I'm with you, sister. Well, there she goes on her journey for of enlightenment, and of course, recruiting more Vieiras for the cause. Saying goodbye is not easy, isn't it? But it's time that we return to the road again ourselves. We must pay our respect to the Valan and Quinfoot, after all. Very well, we'll not keep you any longer. Do pass along our respects to our friends in Slitherboard. I was not certain what to think that Quinfoot at first, but he has proved as a loyal friend. But of course, should you ever time to do come visit Father and I, nothing would have made me happier than be able to show you around the stubble. Alright, next stop, Slitherboard, to say hi for Quinfoot and Valan. Now, actually, we'll teleport there since it's a little bit far. Okay. Alright, Quinfoot, Valan, we're back! Hope you didn't get into mischief, Mr. Quinfoot. Mr. Conspiracy, Mr. Conspirious. Alright. Scree! Scree! Master Lanille, are you certain you should be up about like this? Have no worries, my little friend. I'm feeling like my old self again. I fear all is well again in Stopple too. That's truly a relief. I shudder to think of what would have happened to all of us here in the Greatwood if you hadn't made your discovery. Truly, we owe you a debt of gratitude to your ancestors and their wisdom. And truly, we owe the debt of gratitude to the great Serpent of Ronka. By those divine aspects, young child was led to the star on which the cure was inscribed. Yes, praise be to the serpent. Praise be! Do you think you could keep your voice down a bit? Some of us here are still recuperating from a life-threatening plague, you know. I digress. Speaking of which, Char, whatever made you think that this little fellow was the great servant in the first place? When Qhotl first started rambling on to that end, I thought he finally lost the last of his wits. An excellent question for that, and one I have been giving some thought to myself. Father had always told me tales on how the Rokan worship a great serpent as their guardian and protector, but there was no clear record of its physical appearance. On the night that the darkness returned to the sky, the small creatures we now know well arrived before us, wearing that curious hat. Intrigued, I followed after it. It led me to the ravel, where I saw that passage to our uncentral home was not long open once more. Jumping for joy, I picked up the small creature and ran home to share the news with Father. With tears in his eyes, he gazed at me deeply and spoke these words. The great serpent itself has arrived and got us home. In that moment, I knew it must be so. A moment of divine inspiration? No doubt! Not only altogether unlike my own. This is most fascinating indeed. In my own case, the great serpent has appeared before me in my visions for as long as I can remember. Time and again, it shared with me words of the wisdom that I have so dutifully recorded as the Gospel of Greatwood. One day it called me with a terrifying scree, warning of a great calamity that was befall the Greatwood. If it did not arise their action, it was shortly after that we came upon the tiny creature in the forest, and I recognized it immediately as the incarnation of our divine protector. It is all clear to me that all was leading up to this day. It first appeared in my vision. Our meeting! All has been set part of the great serpent's grand design to restore peace, harmony, and prosperity to the forest. Truly, we will never be able to recognize or rediscover our history nor overcome the spread of the plague were not for the serpent's guidance and wisdom. Clearly, your forebears revered the great serpent as well. Why else would they engrave atop of this final stela, buried deep in the furthest from the Sinister's reach? Now this accumulating preserved stela stand before us, incorrigible proof that this tiny creature is indeed that which we are instinctively perceived it to be. The manifestation of Ronka's divine protector who had come once more in our time of need to guide our people to trying times. Times and into a new generation of peace and prosperity. Scree! Last time, after his work was done, the great serpent left us and going off to some place where only the gods dare to tread. Actually, it's just been following Ataris about on her adventures, you know. What nonsense is this, Vadan? Clearly this great serpent has been watching over us all this time. In any event, it is clear that we owe the serpent a debt of gratitude. It would be a remiss for us not to make a pilgrimage to the site where we might properly pay obsedence. I would like nothing more to pay obsedence, Master Qhotl, but there is no telling where the serpent has gone. Where might we go that it might hear our words? Fear not, my young Qitari friend, for I know just the place. The astral slumbering place of the Great Serpent. The mighty crystal that appeared before me time and again in my visions. I speak none other than the frugal protector created amidst the waters of Lake Tishamikita. Viis and I will make trek there nigh every day to express our gratitude to the Great Serpent of desiring to share its divine guidance with us. And Valan's like, don't look at me like that, Artorias. I didn't go every time, and when I did, it was just to keep Qinfoot here out of trouble. And just how should I go about expressing my gratitude to the Great Serpent? An astute question, my young friend. If you wish, I'd be happy to share with you some choice passages from the Gospel of Qinfoot that would be most suitable for the occasion. For example, this is in chapter 15, verse 5, where it begins to as follows. Oh, hearken into the heavenly Scree. Never mind Qinfoot's rambling. I'm sure the serpent will appreciate it all the more if you just take it in your own words. And so would the rest of us. Trust me. Thank you, Vadan. I believe I will do just that. And not rely on Master Qinfoot on his elaboration of the Qitari or the Serpent's Gospel, verse number 5. Alright, let's go before my throat hurts every time I voice Qinfoot. So, where are we going from here? So we're going over there now. Alright, so it's right over here. Oh wait, this is the exact same place where we first discovered the Serpent of Ratinka? I think so. Huh. What goes around comes around, I guess. Well, here I am, but what words could I truly convey my feelings to the Great Serpent? Well, I'll hearken into the heavenly Scree. Oh god damn it. Oh well, since Qinfoot actually mentioned it, so might as well try. I'll hearken into the heavenly Scree! Perhaps I should keep it simple. Yes? Yeah, let's. Oh, Great Serpent! Thank you ever so much for watching over us. You have my most sincerest gratitude. It was by your guidance that my people have reclaimed our history, and that I have made so many new friends and allies. I promise that we'll never forget you, and to pass down tales of you for generations to generations to come. And is the Great Serpent going to say yes? And looks like you got a reply, Char. What's happening? Do you think the serpent heard my voice? I believe so, Char. Scree! Scree! All's well that ends well, I guess. The Great Serpent is pleased that everything is well and down, and he will be always remembered for generations to come. Granted, I really wish you can actually see what's in that cocoon there. Who knows? Maybe if I finish all the Beast Tribes in Shadowbringers, then maybe I might see a glimpse of what's in there. When the crystal gleams and glows, it almost felt like it was speaking to me. Do you believe this means that the serpent heard my words? At the very least, I take it hard in knowing that I conveyed my thanks to the serpent, and to all of our new friends throughout the forest. And with this, I can return to Father and the Stopple with my head held high. Alright, back to the Stopple we go. I wonder if that person's still there. Alright, here we are. We're back. Let us turn in the quest to get this over with. I cannot take enough for accompanying my son throughout the forest. To the end, you have gone and above and beyond on our behalf. It's a debt of gratitude that the Qhotl will not soon forget. In reclaiming our heritage and history, we have also rekindled time-honored bonds of friendship with our fellow residents of Ratika. The Knights bless the Viis, the Great Serpent, and not least of all, Artorias, ally of Ronka. You have played a part in an event that will echo in annual history. Yes, the stewards will shall see to that these events are handing down to our children, and our children's children, and so on until long after we ourselves are gone. You will have our reward. In the meantime, we shall continue our exploration of the tunnels beneath the stubble. I have even considered commissioning the creation of a new stela, on which we all have gleaned in recent days may have record of prosperity. Father and I might not even see eye to eye in our participation of history, but I can assure you that we are like of mind regarding the future that we will forge for our people. Snip. Snip. Oh, how have you grown, Char. It brings me tears to my eyes. Thank you for everything, Artorias. I know there are places you must journey, but know that you always have a home here in the Stopple. Is that so, oh great serpent? Indeed. And so, glory be to Scree. Reputation of the Bloodsworn. Achieve Bloom Reputation, yes. You receive experience points, yes. Alright. Done and done. Okay, oh yeah, I threw away the item greed to farm that. Oh well, that's fine. I don't think I really need experience anymore because it's already maxed out on Bloodsworn, so I don't need any more experience points. Let's see, anything new in the shop? Oh, it's the Ronka Serpent, but it has a cowboy hat. Alrighty then. Okay. Oh, and I haven't really looked up on what the age oak log is for. I'm guessing it's for crafting, but I don't know for what. So let us get the minion. The battered serpent of Ronka. Tremble of the child man, for a creature of purest divinity wiggles before thee in all of its battered glory. Alright, let's get the minion now. And I'm pretty sure it's the same as the other minion. Let's see, where is it? So many minions, it's not a joke. Oh, here. Yeah, it's the same thing. So I'm gonna read the minion details. Seeking to honor the great serpent of Ronka, the steward recreated the stylish ensemble it was once observed sporting, and made an offering to it to one of the divinity incarnation. Gracing the steps, Stopple. All agreed that the outfit brings out the stately serpents and veteran aspects. Okay. So it's just one of the cowboy hat and a scarf. Okay. Well, with that said, we did everything for the Qitari Beast Tribe. Took a while, but it finally got it completed in probably like, I would say 2 weeks, probably? I think it was 2 weeks-ish to get this all done and over with. But now, since I finished this, I can probably start working on with the Dwarf Beast Tribe next. And once that's finished, I think that's all the Beast Tribe is Shadowbringers, question mark, I think. Unless it's like another Beast Tribe I'm forgetting entirely. But if there is none, then I'm pretty sure it's just the Dwarves that needs to be finished next. So, with that, I hope you guys enjoy this semi-long recording session of Final Fantasy XIV, and if you have any comments, put them down below the video as well. If you like this video, please click the like button, it's very much appreciated. And if you are curious on my upcoming videos on my YouTube channel, you can give it a look. And if you're curious on whatever I've been uploading there, you could probably subscribe. But if you're not going to subscribe, that's okay. But if you're going to, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload new content on my channel. And as previous as all my outros, I have 3 projects and they're currently working, which are of course Final Fantasy XIV, Ray, Trial, MSQ, Broadcast, Dropcast, Minion, Mounts, Trial, Extreme Trial, maybe Savage, probably not, Housing, and the like. Secondly, which will be of course Great Grand Order for the Lost Belt 4, Lost Belt 5, which I need to get back in doing those eventually, because I'm pretty sure certain events down the line in FGO will require me to do the Lost Belt 4 and 5, so I need to get on that and eventually at some point. And of course, I have the role videos for each of the banners that comes out later on, especially a upcoming banner on June for a specific support caster, hint hint. And not to mention the challenge quests, which are a recurring thing in most events, or chapters in certain events in Lost Belts in particular. And lastly will be my third project, which has always been mentioned in all my outros. Persona 5 the Royal will make its comeback at some point in the near future. Hopefully! Which I keep telling myself, but never actually come and doing it. But regardless, this has been Ravensleep45. Take care, stay safe, and have a pleasant Final Fantasy XIV day.